Um, there's no need for extreme formality. Uh, we can speak freely. No need to raise hands and things like that. It's a little bit difficult for me to switch back and forth between the chat and writing on my tablet here. So things work better if we talk freely. Okay. Um, so this is Math 1280, and I apologize for the technical problems. I will get on the horn with with the system administrators here and get this fixed. I will eliminate one of the pilot pages, put everything into one, and then we will, I'll send a message from there so that we all know what's, where to be. So this is the pilot page. Now, I sent a message yesterday with several links in it. There she is. That's the administrator. Um, And I had that up on the pilot page, but that's the other pilot page, and I no longer have access to that, so now I have to search for it. I think that's it. There it is. So I will post all these links in another email, and I will post them on the pilot page as well. So this is my personal web page here, and in this web page, there's a couple links here for my courses this summer. There's this class, Math 1280. And if you click on that, all of the PDF files and course content will be posted here. Okay, so for example, here is the syllabus, which I emailed to you. But that's there. Let me send you this link right now. I will send everything again, make sure that everybody has the proper links. Where is it? So that's my personal website, and I will post all the PDF content here. So, for example, here is the syllabus. Here are the grading policies for the course. And there will also be all the lecture notes, all the homework and discussions, and midterm exams. I'll post solutions to those. And as you can see, I am recording the lecture right now. I'm using this OBS Studios software to make a recording of the lecture. And then the recording of these live lectures will be on my YouTube channel, which is linked right here. And again, I'll send you emails and post all these links on the pilot pages. So, I mean, since we've been, off campus for over a year now, all of my video lectures, from past courses are all here. So those will be posted there. I apologize for the hodgepodge of web pages, but I will not be posting any content on Pilot. I know it might be more convenient for you to do so, but there are specific reasons why I cannot. So anyway, I mean, the information is all going to be here, and for example, let's start with some notes. So the first hand-in homework assignment will be section P2, numbers 48, 52, and 60. And section P3, 32 and 36. And we'll say those will be due Thursday, So this Thursday, which is what? 13th. 5:13 by 5 p.m. Okay, and how will you hand in those homework assignments? So you see, I'm writing on my tablet here, and you should all be seeing that now. Now, after class, I will take these notes that I'm writing here, and they will be posted on this website in PDF format. So you don't actually have to take notes. I'll just post the notes for you. So all of this information will be up for you to access there, or write down whatever you want, or however you like to do it. Although I'll encourage you not to take notes fastidiously, and to use what I'm going to be posting for you rather. So the first assignment will be these few problems here. Due Thursday the 13th by 5 p.m. Okay, so how will we be handling homework? So complete these problems with pencil and paper. Or pen and paper, or some sort of electronic tablet like what I'm doing here. Whatever suits you. Okay, as long as it's legible. Okay, complete these problems with pencil and paper. Now, has anyone not used PDF scanning software up to this point? Has anybody not had any experience with that yet? There's a couple nice apps so there's a couple ways you can do it. So you'll scan these papers. Okay, all right. Does anybody not have a smartphone? Let me ask you that. Document app. Yeah, okay. Yeah, iOS is nice. It's got some built-in features. Does anybody not have a smartphone, Android or iOS or Windows or something? Well, okay, all right. And so complete these problems with pencil and paper. Scan your papers into one PDF file. Using some scanning, preferably using your smartphone with, there's Adobe Scan is nice. That's free. Cam Scanner is nice. Or similar software. You can also take pictures and make pictures which are usually in JPG format, JPEG format, and then those can be saved as PDFs. That often takes longer. You don't want to go through too many steps. Adobe Scan and Cam Scanner, they're really nice for doing this. You can also use a flatbed scanner, although make sure when you use the flatbed scanner that you set the resolution way down. Right? I mean, we're just scanning some handwritten black and white thing. There's no need for high resolution. Okay, just something so it's not blurry. Okay, so set the resolution way down so the file isn't too big. If the file is too big, so if you use a flatbed scanner, so preferably don't do that. Then set the resolution down so that the scan file is not too big. Okay. So you'll make a PDF file, and then we will upload the scanned file to Dropbox, and I'll show you where that is right now. So here's the pilot page. So under the assessment here tab, okay, you'll see there's Dropbox right there. Okay, so we'll go to Dropbox, and then there will be different folders here, one for each assignment. So let's make a new folder for that one. So assignment P2 and P3. So the first homework assignment will be on sections P2 and P3, so we'll just call it assignment P2 and P3. So now that should show up under your assessment tab, Dropbox. So you go to the pilot page, assessment tab, Dropbox, you'll see that, and you click on that and it'll give you some option for uploading your document. Okay, so the document shouldn't be too big, like 1 megabyte should be just about it. Like if you're just scanning one page, I mean, it should be like not even a megabyte, like 500 kilobytes or something. Okay, it should be fairly small, so it uploads quickly. And then if it's too big, I have a hard time grading it because the software I'm using is going to be slow, and when the file is huge, it's a problem for me as well. Okay, so take a few minutes and familiarize yourself with that. Now, if you use Cam Scanner or Adobe Scan or some other similar smartphone app, you guys are mentioning something on iOS, it's already sort of optimized for scanning handwritten documents. Okay, so that'll do all the work for you. They're not hard to use at all. They're really quite easy. All right. And what else? Where's the web page? Okay. So let's go over the course policies now. Oh, my name is Daniel Slalati. I've been a professor at Wright State for 20 years. And here's the links to these pages, my YouTube channel, and this personal website. And the video lectures, like today's lecture, we'll post on on YouTube after class is over. The grading policy for the course: we're going to have 3 midterm exams. Those will be worth 20% each. And we'll have a final exam, which will also be worth 20%. Okay, so the final exam, we'll give it on the last day of class. There's no specific final exam period during the summer semester. So we'll just have that on the last day of class. And then there's going to be handwritten homework assignments. I just gave you the first one. That'll be 10% of your grade. And then we'll also be using WebAssign. And I'll get that up and running for you after class. Now, with WebAssign, once you purchase access to WebAssign, you need to enter a class key to access the WebAssign for this course. And that class key is right here. It is Wright 67557134. And I'll post these links on the pilot page as well. So this is how the weights of the various items that go into your grade, and then I'll make a weighted average of all those items, and 90% will be an A, 75% is a B, 60 is a C, 45 is a D, less than 45 is an F. So I mean, you'll notice that my grading scale is a little bit more wide, I guess, than what you might be used to if you're just out of high school, right? Like in high school, like 90's an A, 80's a B, 70's a C. 80's a B, 70's a C, 60's a C. I mean, I go down much further than that. Because we're making the material a little bit more challenging. It's at a college level. And we go through it a little faster. Okay? And here is the syllabus for the course. Syllabus. All right, so this is the syllabus for the course. These are the sections that we're going to be going over. Actually, I'm not going to go over P1. We'll get into that later. We'll start with P2. So section P2, there's actually no problems on this syllabus, although I gave you a few to complete. With P3, it's telling you to do 12 through 33, and then it says divided by 3. Divided by 3 means, where's the explanation for that? Here it is. Divided by 3 means every third problem. So for 11 through 33, it means do problem 12, problem 15, problem 18, problem 21, so on and so forth. These problems here are not to hand in. Okay, we're just doing 12 to 33, and you're just going to go through those problems and do those, but they're not going to be to hand in. They're just for practice. Okay, you need to do enough practice problems in order to familiarize yourself with the material so that you can perform well on the exams. Okay, so for example, the written homework assignments that I'm giving you, there's only 5 problems here. That is not enough for you to reach. I mean, typically, it depends on who you are, but in my experience, that is not enough at all to get you up to speed on the material. You need more practice than that, and more drill, if you will, drill problems. Again, guys, if you just talk. Oh yeah, you don't have the book? Did everybody get the book? It's on the. You can get electronic access on WebAssign. Waiting for yours to come in. I do. Oh, okay, yeah. So the book is Algebra and Trigonometry, it's called. So I guess let me. So you can get a hard copy, or you can just use the one on WebAssign. And you didn't hear this from me, but if you do a search. Should go away. Stewart PDF. If you do a search, you might find it. Just available online. Or it might not be the 4th edition here. Let's see, maybe it is. Oh no, that's OpenStax. Now Stewart, Redlin, and Watson. All right. Well, anyway, WebAssign. Has the book, ebook. Doesn't have the cover showing. Come on. Oh, well, here's it doesn't show the cover to the book, but it's called Algebra and Trigonometry, and it's got to be the 4th edition. So if you have a textbook of, say, the 3rd edition, which you may be able to find like very cheaply online or something like that, the problem is that the publishers will mix up the problems, so you won't know which problems are the correct ones. So we need to have the 4th edition. So the first assignment, say section P2. It's not a very easily navigable thing, is it? To assign with the code, yes. Yes, it's the code comes with the book. If you buy just the book, it's one price. If you buy it with the access to WebAssign, it's a little bit more. I don't know how much it is. So right here's number 48, and here's number 52, and there's number 60 for this section. All right, so those are the ones that you'll be handing in, and all right, back to the syllabus. What I was saying before is that those hand-in problems aren't going to be enough. You're going to need to do, at the minimum, what's being said here, and you need to be getting the problems correct. Okay, remember the odd-numbered problems have solutions in the back of the book, which you can check yourself with. And during each class period, we will go over some of these. Like, I'll ask you, which one of these would you like to see? And maybe you guys will tell me, or I'll just pick some number of them, which will be good ones, and we'll go over those problems at the beginning of class. So you need that practice in order to be ready for the exams. So you need to be able to do the problems, these discussion problems, and do them correctly and do them somewhat quickly, right? Because in an exam situation, you need to, do just that. You need to do problems correctly and quickly. So when you're doing the practice problems, as long as you're doing them correctly and somewhat quickly, you're understanding that material at the level you need to in order to perform correctly on the exam. And if you need some extra time, if you want some extra time to get together and, with just me and you, or me and a couple other people, we can schedule a little extra time as well, right? So just send me an email and we can arrange something, or talk to me after each class meeting and we can arrange something that way. All right, now let me stress to you the following, now that I've said that. The written homework assignments are way more important than the WebAssign stuff. Okay, the WebAssign stuff is also there to, to help, and to get you to a level of understanding that you need to be. But real learning of mathematics does not happen filling in the blanks online. It just doesn't. I mean, I've been watching this for years and doing this for years, and it doesn't happen. Okay, not at the high school level, not at the college level. Real learning happens when you put pencil to paper and you write things down and you draw pictures and you put the equations together and inequalities together. Okay, that's how learning math happens at this level. At this level. Okay, putting pencil to paper is everything. Okay, not that, the WebAssign stuff and filling in the blanks online with your keyboard is not worthwhile. It is, but it's just a supplement. Pencil to paper is where learning occurs. Okay, and people know things when they're able to write it out, essentially. Okay, so I know, lately the teaching in high school has gone to more fill in the blank type stuff, although some teachers are still with pencil and paper. Okay, we got to be with pencil and paper. You got to make that transition. I don't. You can use a calculator, but I don't use them that much. Just to do basic number crunching. You don't even really need a graphing calculator for the class. If you got one, great. You can use it. I'm fine with that. But just for number crunching, I'm not gonna expect you to do long multiplications and long divisions and things like that. You can do all that stuff on the calculator, but I mean, as far as graphs on the calculator and all that jazz, now, we need to be able to draw. Drawing is where it's at. Okay. Um, so just a little caveat. Does anyone disagree with me? Does anybody think the online stuff is where, on the computer is the way to learn? Just out of curiosity. It's okay, you can say so. Really? Okay. That's surprising. All right. Um, and then of course there's always dealing with syntax on the computer, right? Did I enter the number the way the computer recognizes it, or not the way the computer recognizes it? Or did I use the right symbol? Say what I mean? There's all that. Yeah. Yeah, there's all that sort of technical issues that go along with it as well. All right. And I'm not saying that just because I'm old. I'm 50 years old, so it's not just because I'm a traditionalist. I mean, I'm not really. But I'm not just a teacher of mathematics. I'm a professional mathematician. Okay, and I've got 30 years experience as that, and it's all still done with pencil and paper to begin with. Not that the computer doesn't enter into it; it certainly does. But the basic learning is with pencil and paper. Okay. Okay. And then exams. Exams we will do here on Collaborate Ultra, right? So we'll get together, and you will need to have a working webcam. So for exams, you will complete the exam with pencil and paper. Scan into PDF file and upload to Dropbox. Just like with the homework. All right, and then I will, I'll grade your PDF files. I'll mark them up using this thing here, and then I'll send it back to you. I'll email them back to you. Any questions on anything before we get started? Attendance. Good question. I expect you to be here. Essentially, I expect you to be here at every class meeting. And that's okay. I expect everybody to be here at each class meeting. But we're all adults, and we all have stuff to do. Some people got to work. We have children to take care of, parents to take care of, or whatever else. Okay. If you need to miss a class, that's your business. And again, the lectures are going to be online, right? I'll post the video lectures afterwards, and all of the notes are going to be on the web page. So everything you need to follow along with the class will be here on YouTube and here on the course website. So yeah, if you're a little late, you can always catch up with the beginning of class there. So everything you need to catch up will be here, okay, on the YouTube channel and on the my personal website here. But I do expect you to be here, and let me give you a little bit of a warning. If you're not, I don't take attendance. Yeah, we'll meet for exams at the same time. I don't take attendance, and it's not part of your grade, but I would think twice if you think you're going to be able to perform, without attending. I mean, the live session, has some interactions which are important, and you'll need to be attending. All right, to think, okay, well, I'm going to learn it on my own. I'm not saying you can't. I know you can. A lot of you can. But at this level of mathematics, it doesn't happen too often, and I've seen people try, and it doesn't work out for them. Okay, more often than not, it doesn't work out for them. Not that it can't for you. I'm not saying anything that like you're not capable of totally learning this on your own. Okay, many of you probably you can, and that's fine. Okay, but I would strongly encourage you to be here. And for exams, you need to be here. The exams are going to take place here online, and you will need to have a working webcam or whatever, so that we can have a properly proctored environment. Proctored. Again, guys, I would appreciate it if we talk rather than use the chat. It's hard to go back and forth. No, I'll let you know ahead of time when the exams are going to happen. Okay? Yeah, I know. So yeah, I mean, again, it's easier if we talk rather than chat. I mean, for everyone else's sake, so they can follow along with what's being said, and so that I don't have to keep skipping back and forth between windows. It's just we don't have to rest on formality. All right. So, anything else? Questions? I mean, we've only got like 15 minutes left, but we can still do some stuff.
Was that assignment like for example, or was that an assignment?
I'm sorry?
The homework assignment that you mentioned earlier, is that like hypothetical or?
No, this one's actually due on Thursday.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right. So there's the hand-in homework assignments, and then there are the like discussion homework assignments. So that's these here on the syllabus. All right. So on the syllabus, each section covered has a group of problems to do. So you need to do those and check your answers in the back of the book, and we'll go over some of those at the beginning of each class period. So as long as you're keeping up with the material, and you're learning things bit by bit, it'll be much easier for you come exam time. So we need to be doing both, and we'll also have some web assigned stuff, but I don't have anything just yet. Right. So section P2 is a discussion of the real number line. Okay, think of, so an integer or whole number not an integer, but the integers, or whole numbers can be thought of geometrically as as evenly spaced points on a two-way infinite line with 0 in the, well, middle. There is really no middle on an infinite line, but we sort of think of 0 as the middle. So you've got this infinite two-way line. No need for these little arrows here. You can put them if you like, but there's no real need for them. So here's the 0, and then 1 goes off to the right, 2 goes off to the right, another step, same step as before, 4, 5, 6, and then of course we got the negative numbers. So the increasing direction is to the right. So from left to right, these numbers increase. So those are the whole numbers, evenly spaced. And then between every pair of whole numbers, or integers, there are 10 evenly spaced points for the tenths. Right, so say here's 0, and then here's 1, 2, so on and so forth. And then between those, there's 10 evenly spaced points, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right? And those are 0 0.1, 0 0.2, 0 0.3, 0 0.4, 5, 6, so on and so forth. 7, 8, 9, and then 1. Maybe I should leave off the 0. 1. And then between 1 and 2, of course, you've got the same thing. So that's 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, right? And then between any two consecutive tenths, there's 10 100ths. Ten 100ths, right? So between, say, 7.1, right, there's 7.11, 7.10, or 12, 7.13, 7.14, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7.19, and then 7.2. Right, and you can keep zooming in smaller and smaller as you like. Between any two consecutive 100ths, there's 10 consecutive 1000ths, so on and so forth. Or 10 1000ths, so on and so forth. Right, for any two real numbers, you can always look at the space between them, right? And there's infinitely many more real numbers in between. You can always just keep zooming in to finer and finer details. The distance between 2 points A and B on the real number line is the quantity absolute value A minus B. What's the absolute value A minus B? Right? This is equal to what? Well, it's equal to A minus B if A minus B is positive or 0. And it's equal to the negative of A minus B if A minus B is negative, right? So for a negative value, right, the absolute value of a negative value, you negate it to make it positive. So, for example, right, the distance between 3.4 and 2, say, is the absolute value of 3.4 minus 2, which is 1.2. But that's the same as the absolute value of 2 minus 3.4, right? The absolute value of 2 minus 3, well, what's 2 minus 3.4? 3.4 minus 2 is 1.2. What is 2 minus 3.4 in that case? Right, what's the difference between A minus B and B minus A? What exactly is the difference between these two things?
One's positive and one's negative.
Yeah, they're the same number, one positive, but only differing by positive and negative. Right? So 2 minus 3.4 is the negative of 1.2. And how do you make the negative of 1.2 positive? How do you take the negative of 1.2 and just sort of make it positive?
Wouldn't the top one be 1.4?
Or 1.4, sorry. 1.4. How do you take the negative 1.4 and make it positive? I mean, you don't really just like erase the negative sign. Right? I mean, yeah, that's what you do with your pencil. But arithmetically, how do you do it? Well, it's the negative of negative 1.4. When you negate a negative, it just becomes the positive, correct? All right, so when you're talking about the distance between 2 points, the distance from A to B, you can subtract A minus B, or you can subtract B minus A. And then as long as you just make that answer positive in the end, that gives you the distance. So it doesn't matter in which order you do that subtraction. So note, remember, A minus B is equal to the negative of, well, A minus B and B minus A differ by a factor of negative 1. What is a factor? What do you do with factors? It's a factor. It's a factor. What do you do with factors?
It divides a number evenly.
You multiply them or divide them. Yeah. Multiply or divide. Right. Or, I mean, when you talk about the factors of a number, those are the whole numbers that, the factors of a whole number, they're the other whole numbers which divide it evenly. But another way that you can think of as factors are things you multiply. Terms are things that you add. So when I say they differ by a factor of negative 1, right, A minus B, when you multiply it by negative 1, it becomes B minus A. But when you're talking about distance, it doesn't matter which one you do, because you're just going to get rid of that negative sign in the end. So geometrically, this distance is the line segment between A and B. So here's that real number line. Here's point A. Here's point B. And this aligned segment between them, that is the distance from A to B. All right, so it's a ruler, essentially. The real number line is a ruler. I mean, I'm sure you've all used a tape measure to do, measurements, or a ruler to do measurements of something, or your metal tape measure to, measure the width of the room, or whatever, what have you, right? I mean, we've all done that at some point in time in our life, some of us more than others. All right, where am I going here? Now, an important concept in the analysis of real numbers is an interval. By the way, probably you guys have seen all this stuff that I'm talking about already, but we need to revisit concepts and make sure that we're understanding the concepts and vocabulary that we need to understand. Okay, so it's not that, like, I'm assuming that you've never seen it. I mean, some of you maybe not, but we need to be careful and build things right from the beginning. We'll pick up speed later. Don't worry about that. Is in the analysis of real numbers is an interval. So when there are 4 types of intervals that we look at. Well, 4? No, there's more than that. We look at, and a notational system that goes along with them. Okay, so first there is a closed interval. A closed interval, you write it like this: bracket A, comma, B, and that's equal to, and then we also have this notation. It's the set of all real numbers x such that A is less than or equal to x is less than or equal to B. All right, so how is this read? As the set of all real numbers x such that, and then A less than or equal to x less than or equal to B. So we don't use that notation all the time. We kind of try to avoid it because it's clunky. But sometimes we have to say it, right? So more so we write this, right? We write bracket A, square bracket A, comma B. So that's the set of all real numbers x between A and B, including A and B. In other words, it's all real numbers between A and B and along with A and B as well. And geometrically, we represent the interval like this. So here's that number A, and here's that number B. So we'll make a solid dot at A, a solid dot at B, and then all the real numbers that are in between A and B are that line segment between A and B again. All right, so maybe you've seen that notation before, and that's called the closed interval. There's also the open interval. All right, so when I write round parentheses A comma B, that's the set of all x, real numbers x, such that A is strictly less than x is strictly less than B. All right, and geometrically, this one, let's write out what we mean before we do that. So, in other words, all real numbers between A and B, but not including A and B. Oh, I'm sorry, it's 10:58. So we will continue this next time, and I will make sure that the pilot page fiasco will be settled by then, and I'll send you some messages to make sure that. Okay, everybody, we'll see you here tomorrow at the same time, and please keep an eye on your email today for some other messages. Okay. All right, guys. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Have a great rest of your day.
You too.